Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with me, Najia, and we are in the very last series of personal numerology year number 9. Number 9. Number 9, we are at the end of the series, and I hope you are enjoying it. And if you don't watch the whole series, if you just watch your personal year, thank you for stopping by. So I created a video that looks a lot like the thumbnail for this video, except it's a black and white thumbnail, and it's called How to Calculate Your Personal Year. Okay? So you go to that, and it teaches you in depth how to calculate your personal year. But here's a quick review. We want to find out what your personal year is. You have to know the universal year for the year you're interested in. So right now we're checking out universal year 2025 because that's what's coming up in a few days. And if you are getting to watch this video a year from now, then you'll want to put in 2026 and calculate that for your universal year. But in 2025, I literally add the numbers of 2025 together to get universal year 9. Okay, so we're going to work with that. Then we're going to take your birth date, whatever it may be, the number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 31, whatever it may be. And you add that to the 9, and you add your birth month, 1 to 12, right? Whatever your birth month is. And I'm going to use mine and our favorite celebrity, Keanu as an example, because we're both born on September 9, the 2nd, and plus the universal year equals 20. So me and Keanu are both having, and many of the people who've written in my comments are having a personal year number 2 this year. And that has specific meaning, you know, for relationships and all kinds of wonderful things, like even meeting your soulmate and focusing on partnership. The number 9 year has a different theme, and everyone's going to go through all 9 cycles. You're going to start, depending what year you were born, you may not start at 1, okay? Because it depends when you were born and what your birth date is, but you're going to eventually cycle through all 9 and continue back again to, so what would be really interesting is when you are listening to this video and its themes and really learning about it, go look back 9 years ago and see how the year played out 9 years ago. Did it match everything I'm talking about here? Another really cool thing to do is go check out the video for personal year number 8, because that is what you are now leaving behind. And then if you want to do more, go check out personal year number 1, because that's coming next for you in a year from now. And if you get that kind of information to know how the cycles work, how to ride the waves, take advantage of the flow of energy, you will manifest your dreams, your heart's desire, so much better. You will live a more full life because you will be in touch with the flow, the divine design created for you. And you can check out the rest of the videos in my Divine Design playlist, the Intuition and Divine Design. You will find these videos. So let me just give you a quick synopsis for now of number 9 year. So this is a year of taking stock, looking back on the past 8-year cycle And you want to consider whether you want to continue on the same path or make changes. In most cases, you want to make some changes. And I got to tell you, number 9 year, take advantage of releasing the past. Let go of whatever is no longer benefiting you, whether it's a relationship, career, any other aspect of your life, physical things. Like this is a time to go through your things and give them away, sell them, whatever. You've got to make room for new beginnings. So you're physically preparing your home and your inner landscape by releasing to make room for what's coming up next year, number 1 year, when, boy, that's going to be quite a year. Very busy year of empowering you in your new start. So you got to prepare for that next phase of life now, this year, by tying up all the loose ends as much as you can. And because you got to make it, you can't overcrowd everything. You got to make space for the new experiences. You got to let go of who and whatever situations that no longer are benefiting you or serving you. So you might feel torn between the old and the new identities, and your emotions might run high this year. But focus on forgiveness. Focus on forgiveness, because forgiveness is part of releasing the past in a very loving way. I'm not talking about denial. I'm talking about let it go. Let it go, okay? Be a humanitarian. The more you can give selflessly, the smoother the process will be. All right? So if you're enjoying this series, please support the channel in a lot of free ways to help the channel spread information is to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe for free, notification bell. And these are ways to help benefit the channel. Now, I'm going to go into the long, detailed version of a number 9 year. If you want major advice and detailed information, how to take advantage. I just went over the themes of the 9 year. And the 9 year, I got to tell you, it was a shock. I couldn't imagine after a number 8 year. Number 8 year is very empowering. You're with a lot of people, you're empowering yourself. Number 9 year is very much like the Hermit year, the Hermit in the major arcana of tarot. It's a year of introspection and actually being alone. So certain things, because you're letting go of people and situations and things and attitudes that no longer serve you, you find there is a certain loneliness that can suddenly happen in the number 9 year. And it will peak around your birthday, around whatever month your birthday is in. That's when the peak of your cycle will hit the strongest. But the theme will change January 1st. It will change January 1st and it will end December 31st. And you're in a new year with new themes and you will feel it. So I remember like studying what happens in the number 9 year and knowing my background in the tarot and oracle readings. I know that 9 is letting go. It's also very isolating. It's also very independent as well, so you can feel self-sufficient. You already attained a lot of that in the number 8 empowerment year. You became more self-sufficient, but there is a certain loneliness to this that may be a shock to you at first. So be ready for that. And be okay with it. Just know that it's an ebb and flow. Number 1 year, you will not be lonely. Definitely, you won't be lonely in the number 2 year. So it all changes every year, and you work on different aspects of your journey through life and developing yourself. So a lot of the information I'm going to give you right now that's in detail is sourced from a wonderful numerologist called Christine Delory. And I have her contact information, her website. If you'd like a full numerology reading, contact her or one of the other wonderful numerologists listed on Google. But if you want to work with energy, with your current energy for the upcoming year and how to manifest and change that energy to be the way you want it to be, to manifest your dreams, then have a psychic reading with me, because nothing is destined in that can't be changed. Everything has to do with your current energy and how to find the key issues and turn that around. That also supports the channel. So again, I want to just now go into detail, tell you that 9, it's an end of an era. It's like going backwards to claim your future, which is going to happen next year. So this brings an end to the complete cycle of your life. And again, we keep talking about going through these 9-year cycle. It's a year to complete unfinished business. You're going to tie up all the loose ends. You're going to come to all kinds of conclusions this year. These actions will help you step into the next 9-year cycle of your life without the pressure of the unresolved matters of the past pulling you back. If there's anything I can stress about this year, it's really, really, really tie up all the loose ends this year that will impede you from the future. Give away, get rid of, whatever, get rid of it. If it's no longer serving you, it's out of your life, because that is going to hold you back. And just remember, when one door closes and another opens, that's how it is in this cycle. If you refuse to accept that certain doors really have closed, you're going to be unable to recognize the new things that can happen for you. This is a year you want to close doors that are no longer helping you, but other doors will close on you because their cycle has ended. And it's okay. It's okay. Now you're going to get to decide how you want to live your future. Your reality is not just based on where you are right now, your current energy. It's also you create your tomorrow. So it's made up of everything that ever happened to you, everyone you ever met, anything you've ever done, and anything you've ever felt it or denied. Okay, so where you stand today has to do with where you've been. But before you can go further, you got to release emotionally, mentally, physically from anything that no longer serves you, any purpose. Anything that's chaining you down, God forbid, any addictions or toxic people, you gotta make sure these no longer exist. It's a time to integrate your past with the present so that the potential of your future can be seen and felt now. So you have to accept the past exactly as it was, and get in touch with your feelings about things you've been unable to feel. Help find closure. Find closure this year. This year it will bring significant transformation. It's in all areas of your life, even though you may not see it immediately. You may not see the positive parts of that, the merits of it immediately. Because when old buried emotions are weighing you down, when that is released, you will suddenly become light. You will become more high vibration. And then you'll see that what you released, you know, made you feel better, and you'll understand why it had to end. So, in the beginning of a 9 year, you may feel a sense of numbness or stagnation. It's because you're so close to accepting your full reality, your potential, but you're holding the emotions involved inside you rather than expressing them outward. So there's a magnetic pressure preventing forward motion, and it draws you to a repeat of the very situations that you prefer to avoid. So we're all conditioned to believe that emotional expression denotes weakness or it's negative. Sometimes people put you down for expressing your emotions. But in fact, emotional expression is our strength, our own healing mechanism, our only means of freedom, and ultimate tool of creativity. I highly recommend you read the book by Louise Hay called You Can Heal Your Life. It's one of my favorite books. I've given out dozens of copies to friends. It's all about how disease manifests in the body or depression manifests because of everything you hold inside that needed to be expressed. It's a really wonderful book. It's a wonderful book to read on the number 9 year. Be a great time to get in touch with everything you need to release. And if you refuse to accept the past, some people, who refuse to accept the past, the way they spent their lives rehashing the same old situations and making like the same old mistakes, the same patterns, because they're unable to let in the new reality, to accept it. And they're dissatisfied with everything. So, they justify this experience, that they're not satisfied with by blaming others or blaming life itself or blaming themselves, so you've got to make friends with your past. You've got to accept and you've got to let go. You don't want to be stuck in that cycle. And there's other people that claim to be apart from or above, the journey humanity is taking all the time, and they're resenting that they're too afraid to be a part of it. And because none of us has truly evolved into total free will yet, we're all affected by these misunderstandings. But this year, it's not enough to simply have an intellectual understanding of your free will, your choice to create, right? And we're given free will by God, right? You'll learn that your feelings are the only means of activating your personal freedom. Let's listen to this again. You will learn that your feelings are your only means of activating your personal freedom. This year of endings and conclusions offers you the chance to free yourself of the erroneous beliefs that have always caused unhappiness, dissatisfaction, and stagnation. This 9 personal year, it teaches you how to break free from the past by releasing your grip on it. So without this understanding, you will forever be a victim of something that once happened to you. It's time to heal. You don't want to keep going in this loop, okay? And not expanding out of it and accomplishing. You don't want to be a victim to your past. So the more you strive to begin something new without first releasing the old, the more resistance life will give you. It's not going to help you. You can't get that new thing you want unless you let go of what no longer serves you. If you do not make an effort to accept your emotional realities, you may find that history will repeat itself for the next 9 years. So this year is critical to go back over your life's continuous journey and consider everything that happened to you. There will be things you don't want to remember, memories you may be blocking from your consciousness. These are the very events and situations that need to be addressed. These are the heavy burdens that are weighing on you and preventing you from moving forward. The more genuine intent you have to allow forgotten memories to resurface, the easier it will become to accept the healing process of this year. You may want to keep a dream journal. Some of these things may come up while you're dreaming, and you might want to just write down whatever you remember in a journal next to your bed, even if you don't remember the whole dream. It'll bring you on a chain of thought to process, to let go. So often the sheer weight of the past and present emotion, about that causes depression. Even though we try to fool ourselves into believing that depression can be avoided by avoiding these emotions or, self-medicating in different, toxic ways. This pretense, let me just talk about that. It's toxic. We have the devil card in the tarot. And people can self-medicate, through taking a substance to help them forget and not deal with their emotions, drinking, codependent relationships that need to be let go of, overspending, shopping, gambling, all these avoidance techniques. Or rage, just dealing with rage, or rageaholic, right? So you could be addicted to rage, right? I've known people, right? So you want to let go of all that. So if you find yourself dwelling on certain emotions such as anger, fear, grief, well, some people are addicted to victimhood and the grief, right? To the extent that you cannot live life constructively, there's a good chance you're using these emotions as an excuse for continuing to deny another emotion that is even more deeply buried. So denial is no longer an option. It's caused so many problems on this earth. So this applies to you as it does to life in general. So being afraid to feel your feelings is a natural response. It's normal. But fear, like other feelings, must be allowed to follow an evolutionary process. It must be allowed to move. You got to move energy. So when you cling to fear, you refuse to accept its ability to help you. So by stopping its movement, you can become paralyzed by it. So you got to feel your fear, accept it, and move through it. Let it move out of you. If you have trouble allowing emotions to move through you, you can take dance. I teach dance on Zoom. You can go for a walk in the woods and let the trees lift these emotions out of you and cleanse you. You can go in the ocean and let the salt water and the water and the electricity and the sunlight cleanse you. Help you process your emotions. Spend that time doing it. So this will help you develop courage and the ability to recognize those things which really don't need to be feared. Those, your feelings are your senses and instincts and are vital to your survival. Do not suppress them. Be honest with yourself. You can't just go around positively thinking. That can do more harm than good. You really got to be honest with yourself. You can't pretend you're feeling something that you're not. Now, in the beginning, it might be good to pretend a little bit because it gets you into that higher vibration. But if you're in denial, that's another thing. So, your thoughts and feelings are two very different energies and must be experienced separately so that you can tell them apart. So, when your masculine, rational thoughts and your feminine feelings make peace and join forces, your personal, when you connect the divine feminine with the divine masculine within yourself, when you find that inner soulmate within you, your divine marriage, your personal power increases significantly and your entire being evolves. So, this 9 year journey, you know, it takes you in what's sometimes seems like the wrong direction backwards because you got to go backwards now, retrograde. But it's helping you find what is unresolved and what's preventing you from going forward. You've got to handle it this year. This is the year. This is the year to take advantage of that flow. It's going to come up and you're going to deal with it. And it's going to be very emotional. And it can be emotionally isolating too. You're not the only one dealing with your emotions from the past, but with all the new emotional situations in the present can help trigger the old feelings which need to be released. That happened to me. I had a lot of triggers in my number 9 year. It was not easy. I had to get some help, Nothing wrong with asking for help to help you release things that trigger you. All right. So you may have some reenactments of the past in different forms. They show up again, representing the consequences of certain actions, beliefs and attitudes. So you can't live fully in the present if part of you is stuck in the past. Therefore, you want to go back, retrieve all those parts of yourself that are stuck there. All right? Generosity and compassion play important role now. There's a greater depth of feeling in yourself, and you'll become more sympathetic to other people's experiences and more aware of how you and they are compounding certain problems by denying their feelings, right? Or your feelings, right? So you'll become more aware of the difference between compassion and guilt. Compassion is beautiful, guilt is harmful. So if you're reluctantly guilted into being involved in something, yeah, you may have been gaslighted and convinced that it's the right thing to do. Maybe it isn't. But maybe it is, who knows? But the only way to be sure is letting go, letting go of the guilt and letting your true feelings guide you. It is in the 9 year that you can realize the extent to which guilt keeps you apart from achieving happiness, and how much denied guilt, how much you've denied it and reversed it into blame. Like you can't deal with your own guilt, and you're like, instead of acting from love, you blame others. You put all the blame on someone else because you can't deal with facing what's going on in a loving way. And instead, because you might feel, you're feeling guilty, but you deny it and you just put the blame on someone else. That's no good. You gotta have a good look at your past And if you have unhappy memories arise, well, now's the time to heal them. Create more more space inside for happiness to resurface. So you may have inaccurate beliefs that are replaced by new truths and potentials. So in this number 9 personal year, as you accept what has happened to you in the past, you develop a clearer picture of what you want to happen. You just look at your life like a play and you learn from it. And the old you becomes the present you, and your will, your desire determines the future you. Right? So the old you from the past led to who you are in the present. And then you're going to put your will, your determination, and desire to birth the future you. You want to envision that beautiful future you. So not all endings have unhappy emotions attached. Some situations are just concluded. They've run their time, they've run their course. And now they're done, and you can feel relief, like, okay, I lived that, I'm done with that. Don't assume the worst. It's not all bad, just accept that your past is that ground that you had to cover in order to get where you want to be. You had this journey. So your understanding of this year is one of the most exhilarating and dynamic journeys you will ever travel, because it is the end of your journey. And then the new year begins a year from now. So I really, really hope you enjoyed this detailed series of the personal year. If you want to know more about numerology, and so many people in the comments section wanted to know more about numerology, and they were all asking about their life path, because I did a reading for Keanureeves, his life path, and then everyone wanted to know their life path. And I wrote and then talked to my viewers. I wrote to some of my viewers in the comments, and I spoke on some of my videos saying, I want to do everyone's personal year before the end of the year first, before I do your life path year. All right. So, because it's important to know your personal year before you start your new beginning cycle again, right? And I will be doing the life path readings. Give it another month and I will post them. In the meantime, I'm going to get back to reading more tarot and oracles for things you want to know about. And I will read a lot of your comments, requests in my videos called Tiara's Tea and Tarot. In those are shorter videos. They're usually about 20 minutes, and I like to record them pretty often, but we had to take a break to record this series. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have a beautiful new year full of many blessings and transformations to your highest self. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to contribute more, become a member. You get some really nice perks in that. All right, take care. Bye.